Alright, welcome back to Sosnovka. Let's see, let's get started. I'll check over here. I did get our some hired help over here. Get them working on these fields. Yeah, it looks like they're ready to go. Initially, I was going to do some more baling stuff, but these bales can stay here for now. We're going to get our hired help here to plant these fields. We need to get some crops growing because we've got pigs waiting to be fed. Wow, they're not waiting at the very moment, but you understand. Instead, we'll get this guy going here, and what we'll do is go over to the shop because I want to get the trees planted. I'm thinking about it, and it takes 3 harvests to get these trees anyway, so we might as well get them planted. And we need a little bit of everything, but we definitely need the straw. So let's do barley. That'll give us the most straw. Just line this guy up here and set him off for work. I think we'll do barley in both fields. Yeah, that will definitely get us going in the right direction. Okay, so while he does that, let's take this guy out of the shop here. I did pick up the bale trailer, or the auto loader, the bale stacker. I'll show you what that is in just a moment. But I keep forgetting about this little guy here for pigs. We'll definitely get that over there, get that place cleaned up. I'm sure it's a mess right now. Okay, so on the back of our truck here, our semi, that is the Artisan Auto Stack. And what does it do? I'll show you. Go ahead, let's get into the description here. The Artisan Auto Stack is a bale collector that eases the collection of bales, so I can get 16 square bales all on that, and then it stacks them up in a nice, neat little tower, so we can come along and get rid of them. That way, I don't have to run around and pick up each one one at a time, or stack them up here, or stack them up there. So yeah, next will be no, we need our voucher here, because we're gonna get the voucher off and kick it on some tree planting. Actually, we'll have to do the tree planting because the hired help only works on plowed land, and I haven't plowed any land up for him, so definitely only works on plowed land. This is a slow going process, so I'll plant the first crate or pallet with you guys, and then after that I'll plant the rest of them wherever I want to plant them. Yeah, these bales aren't going anywhere, so they'll be fine out here. Just look at the drive there. Cut across the field again. Get a little extra commission, I guess, for being so helpful with mowing all of the grass. Hook this up to the front of the doctor here. Okay, now we need to buy our tree planter. Like I said, this is a slow process. We'll go grab that. Might as well just get our box of trees here. So here's the samplings. These are the trees. These are pine trees that you plant. They grow to full length, like the ones that are up in the forest, and then you can cut them down. Takes, I believe, if I remember correctly, 3 normal growth cycles. So it takes a while for them to grow. But for $40 for 20 trees, and each one of those trees at full height, you're talking 4 logs from $2,200 down to about $1,200. You're talking about $10,000 a tree. It's incredible. It's one of the best ways to make money in this game. Okay. it just takes a long time, and the equipment can get expensive. Um, if you want to do it quickly and not use your chainsaw to cut the trees down, and we don't want to do that because logging is going to be such a big part of this. We definitely don't want to be chainsawing them down. We want to use the big guns, the Scorpion King or the Scorpion Laconsi Scorpion. What an awesome machine! I'll show you what it looks like, and then I would recommend you actually get on YouTube or Google it and watch this thing in action because it's incredible. I mean, it just chews up these great big trees. It just chews them up. I've actually never been up in this forest. It's crazy. First time I played this map, I had over 300 hours in it, I think. And I never even went up there. Not one time did I ever go up there. So what we'll do is we'll plant these trees right here along the roadway. That way when we come along and cut them down, we can use the logging road here as a staging area. I'm not going to create any fields. Let's turn that on and hear the engine go up. And then we just start rolling. See on the bottom right hand side, the tree went to the ground. And we have one less tree in our box of planters. There's the second one, and here's the little tree right there. Now for the first growth day, the stage, they don't have a collision on them, so you can drive over them. You can cut the grass around them and it won't hurt them. They do not need fertilizer or anything like that to grow. You don't have to plow the land up first, nothing. And you don't get a really good look at this because of the grass, but on the dirt you can see those spinning blades will carve a trench. There, it's a little better over this side. We'll make a trench. The tree will drop down, and then the blade will roll over the dirt back on top of the tree. That's the idea, anyway. We'll say off of the actual road right there. But yeah, this is a slow process. I planted as much as 440 trees on one map. They were all packed in very tight together. And I got some lag. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why. The tractor started to speed up there. I must have pushed a button. So we'll get 20 trees along this path here, and then we'll go somewhere else. This is tree planting. The sapling, the other, and I'll show you that here in just a moment, as soon as our last tree is planted. The other is popper trees. They're not the great big ones like you see on the farm there. They're just little ones, and they're specifically made to harvest at an early stage, and it's a way to get wood chips. The planting is the same. It's very slow going like this, but you do have to plant them on a plowed field, and you can have your hired help harvest them because it takes a really long time. The harvester is slow, and they only harvest 2 meter widths, or a little over 6 feet at a time. It's really difficult. Okay, let's roll this back over to the shop real quick. And I'll let you get over here, zoom in a little bit and see our trees as we planted them along. There's one. There's one. So in about 3 grow cycles, we will have full-size trees, and those are going to be as tall as those poplars right there between the beacon lights. And yeah, it'll be a great way. This is our path over to the other side. So off camera, we're going to get there's a couple other places I want to plant several trees, but I'll do that off camera. And what we'll do now is, since the help just got finished, we'll set him away on the next field, and we'll go collect a few bales. Mostly I want to use those bales to set up our ability to make total mixed ration for the cattle that are going to get, or dairy cows, not just cattle, just dairy cows. And then whatever is left over from our batch of power food, we'll just take over the biogas plant and dump that into the grinder over there, the mixer. These three poppers right here along this field edge, I'm going to cut those things down. I'm going to cut them down, move this in the way. So the same thing, we're going to set him off and working on this field. Why does that? We'll run around, mostly we'll just collect the silage bales because they're all over half. The hay bales are fairly restricted to one area. And we'll bring them over here to the main farm and stack them up. And then, when we get these 2 fields of barley harvested, we can make straw bales, which we'll need for the rest of our mixed ration. Actually, we don't need that already, because we're going to use the big semi. This is the reason I like this MAN semi, this one here that comes with the base name. This TGS 18.480 is because it has a PTO that comes out and hooks in, so we can use implements that need PTO. And if you're wondering, it's got the Trelleborg tires, which are the exact same tires as the tractors do. These are a little more aggressive, but so we can use these on the field if we want to, or up in the forest, or just along the roadway. Let's see, what was I going to show you? Oh, the mixed ration feeder. So this is one of the small ones. This one takes 4 bales total. So it would be 1 straw, 1 hay or silage, and then it would be 2 hay or silage, just depending on how you want to mix it. If you've got more hay than silage, then you use 1 silage bale and 2 hay bales. If it's the other way around, then you get the picture. It's always just 1 straw though. Straw is just a filler item. This is an automated one where you could use it to pick up piles. I haven't really used it. I find it's just easier to make bales and dump bales in because we're going to be using this big bad boy right here, 64,000 liters. So this takes 4 bales of hay, or 4 bales of silage, 4 bales of straw, and then 8 bales of silage or hay, just depending on what you have left over. But 64,000 liters per load. That's awesome. That's what we're going to use. Okay, let's get started. Let's go collect some bales. Oops, you gotta hook up first. Hook up first. There we go. There you go. Good. So the black bales are what we'll be collecting here. You can see that the hay bales are not wrapped. And they're also alongside the roadway, but these silage bales are absolutely everywhere. Lower down the pickup and drive along. Nice and easy because you have to wait for the bales to get stuck together and then the devices to return. I don't know what all the parts are called. I've actually never ever seen any of this stuff work because out here we just, we have ranches and they don't need to worry about this. And you see a lot of round bales out here, small or square bales, even though these are the same as the big round bales. Square bales around here are usually for like horses and stuff like that, Timothy grass, things like that they're turning into hay. I've only done that one time where I went along and collected little 75-pound square bales for a friend of mine and their horses. They brought in big round bales as well, but they had a couple of small fields of Timothy grass hay. And so, because I'd never done it before, what we had to do is we just had a trailer and we had an old Chevy pickup that was stuck in granny gear and then stuck to 4-wheel drive and 4-low. And let the truck start moving, and then we just bailed out because the truck was pointed in the same direction and it wasn't going fast enough to run over any fences or anything. We bailed out and stacked bales as the truck drove itself along this path. So the one person on either side of the trailer picked up the bales, stacked them up. Gotta swing around here and loop around to this other side. Because there are a lot of other bales over here. We'll actually go to the far end. And work back towards where we want to be. When I have silage bales down along here, down along that roadway, down over there. I think there was a total of, I can't remember, there was over 100 bales that I made. The thing about on console is you've got a limited amount of bales you can have made in your possession. You either, once you reach a certain limit, you have to sell them, or or use them up in some fashion or another. You just can't have bales in the game will let you. It's console users like myself. You just have to deal with your game's limitations and accept the fact that you can't do everything PC users do. Not that it matters to me. I don't even have a PC. I have an ancient mini Mac that is over 10 years old, and my little MacBook Air is about 7 years old. It looks like our hired help here is finished again. So we'll go over and show you what I'm just going to stack this up. 16, so this would be 2 loads. We definitely want, it's probably more than 2 loads because I have more hay than silage. A lot of it will depend on how many hay bales we get. Let's take these. Oh, we're going to dirty up our yard here a little bit, or clutter up our yard. Against not dirty, but clutter up our yard a bit. So you hit the unload button, then this thing rolls back, tips up the stack. Try and go over here where we can get there a little bit without that building in our way. And then we unload the bales here, drive out a little bit, lower down our implement, our trailer, and off we go again. That is silage bale collecting, or bale collecting altogether, not just silage. So I'm going to be doing some of that now. I'm going to run around all around the map and collect all these bales. What I will probably do is, I don't know, we'll see. I can't remember. Actually, we can find out. We can look at our history, and we can find out how many bales we've created. 128 bales in total. And this holds 16 at a time. Now these bales are so far apart because there's a limited amount of grass we can cut. We only cut with 2 of the mower blades, because if I got any closer to the field over there, it wouldn't let anything scream at me because I don't own the field and all of that. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to collect all these bales up. I'm also going to do some jobs for the local farmers here to ingratiate ourselves even more, and then buy up some of these fields eventually. Yeah, but every time we do some work for the guys, they cut 2% off of the cost of the field up to a 20% discount. So it's well worth doing a little work for these guys. Anyway, I want to say thanks for watching, and we will see you again on the next video.